Hey boys, welcome back to the first video in like 10 months, maybe a year. Got a great upload schedule, let me tell you. But today I'm gonna do a programming language tier list. I don't really do programming stuff on this channel. I think I made like a programming setup video a while ago, but that's about it. And a lot's changed for me since then. I've got a lot more knowledgeable. And yeah, I think I'm gonna turn this channel into like programming centric stuff, and then maybe make another channel for my original gaming stuff, like the montages with the memes. But yeah, I'm gonna rank programming languages today, and some of them I might have some hot takes, and I might make a few people mad, but it's my opinion at the end of the day, so cry about it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So these are the languages I chose. I'm pretty much only using languages that I've actually at least tried, except for MATLAB. I just have it in here because it's funny and it's bad. Any language that starts as indexes for arrays at 1 deserves to be in the like burn it tier. That's just end of discussion. But anyways, start with Go, the best. I like Go. I started using it recently. I like it because so there's just some things I like about it. I like the package system. It makes things really convenient to share stuff between files. I've always had issues with that in other languages for some reason. So it's pretty great. I like it. Also, it's got a nice mascot, so there's that. And it just gets things done. I need to play with it more, and I really like it as a language. And C obviously has to go in the first spot because C has like made up everything, like the Windows kernel, the Linux kernel, parts of the Mac OS kernel, I'm assuming, have been written in C, and even a lot of these languages in this list have been written in C. It's just that important. And I think it's like the third, maybe second language I ever learned. And I really benefited from it because it taught me a lot about programming in general. Like when you start with Python, you don't really get a giant grasp of computer as programming in a whole. C really opened my eyes to see like what all of programming was about, and let me understand about how a system works and how memory works. So C obviously it just has to go at the top. Fortran, I would use it. I I would use it if I had to. It has to go in would use. Like it can't be in trash, even though it's old, because it was like one of the first high level languages. So you have to give credit where credit is due. Fortran, I'm comfortable putting it in would use. I'd try it if I had to. Well, I have tried it. I'd use it and like make an app with it, not like a mobile app, but like some sort of useful thing with it if I absolutely had to. Then Rust, I'll put it in gray. I've played with it a, quite a lot. I made a Git client in it, I think, and then I remade it in Go. But I don't do. It's a nice language, nice design. The whole memory safety thing is great, especially when you compare it to C. Makes things a bit easier, but it's a bit too complex for everyday use for me. And normally I do web-based stuff, so it doesn't go the best with that. And I don't make like system tools often, so it's just too complex for what I normally do. So then C sharp, I'll put it in gray. I learned it recently. I actually completed the solo learning course on it, but I am still kind of trash at it. I have been a functional programmer. Like I've used functional programming languages for like ever, and just recently I started using C sharp and like getting into object oriented patterns. So I don't know a whole lot about it. I'm not great at it. Classes are a bit of a mystery to me, but I like the language. Like the high level features are awesome. Like just comparing it with C, having the ability to do a lot of stuff just easily and like just for example making a string all uppercase, just add like .2 string, well, two uppercase, and like same thing with Kotlin there. It's just nice. And then Bash, it has to go at would use. I've played with Bash a lot. I've written like configure my shell and stuff, of course, with Bash, and you can't dock it. You can't put it in trash, even though it's not like the best language out there. It does what it needs to. Nothing more, nothing less. Then assembly, I can't put it in trash, so it has to go in wood use. Assembly is a very important language. It powered C, like you made C in assembly. What can I say? It opened the door to better things, put it that way. And Roller Coaster Tycoon is made in it, which is awesome. So you have to give credit where credit's due. Then Haskell, I would use. I played with it. I don't really know it, but I've played with it and it's okay. I would use it if I had to. CSS, trash. It's technically Turing complete, but it's not the best language out there. And when you compare it to like SCSS or SAS, whichever way you want to see it, it's just better. Like more programmatic features, extended, easier to use. So it's just to go in trash when there's things like SAS, you can't really make it like above a trash tier. It's not the easiest to use either. I don't really understand it all that much. And C++, put it in the burn. You can do everything you want in C. I don't know why you use C++. It just makes things more complicated. I don't like it. That's all you gotta say. I don't like it. It doesn't make much sense to me. C99 can do everything that C++ can do, easier and better and simpler, and you won't pull your hair out and shoot yourself in the foot as quickly. Ruby, I would use it. It's a decent language. I played around with it in Ruby on Rails, and it's okay. Java, great. For the JVM, because it's made the JVM, I'll say it's good. But when Kotlin exists, no real reason to use Java, to be honest. Like, I've been using Kotlin a lot lately, not for mobile development. I'm not really into that. I use it for Discord bots with the JDA Discord library, and it's pretty nice. I like it. And I think I'm going to make an API with it soon. So maybe I'll document that. So stay tuned, ? But yeah, Kotlin's great. And then Lua, trash. We'll put it above Lua. I mean, above CSS. Because it's not as bad as CSS. But Lua, I don't like the syntax. It's just weird. And I don't see much use for it. Because it's not like the fastest language. I know it can be embedded in C, which would make a few certain things easier to do. But I don't see much of a reason to use it. Then PHP has to go in the trash here. I have tried to play with it, but I cannot grasp it. It is so clunky and so weird, and I don't understand it. So here's where things get controversial. This is about where things hit the fan for some people, I'd say. Python, I really don't like Python. It was my first programming language, so it's hard because I really don't like it, but it was my first programming language, so I have to give it at least something. So I put it in would use, but at the bottom of would use. Actually, I'm going to reorder this. Put Bash, then Ruby, Haskell, Fortran, Assembly, Python. I don't like Python. Like, having a misplaced space, like a misplaced space could just break your entire program. That annoys me. And I don't like the whole semicolon thing. Well, full colon, I guess. Where there's a lack of semicolons. And it kind of forces you to stick to their styling rules. I don't enjoy it. Plus, it's slow. But I think it's getting faster. I heard something about that. It's like getting 5 times faster or something by the 3.13 or something. But I still don't like it. But it has to go in the would use. It can't be trash because it's what got me into programming, for better or for worse. So yeah, that's where Python sits, even though I don't like it. R, I just don't understand it. I don't have any use for it. I've tried to use it. I don't really see the use for it. So yeah, we'll just put it in trash, I guess. And then Swift, go and trash to you. I don't do mobile development, and I think the only time I've played with Swift is when I had an iPad Pro and was like trying to use their like app to learn it. But it was okay, just not the best language. It could be better. And then I think we should start with JavaScript. Burn it. I know JavaScript is like the most popular language in the world, maybe behind Python, but it's overused and it's being shoehorned into too much stuff. It's used everywhere, and I don't agree with that. Use like a native systems programming language if you want to make an app. Don't use Electron. That's stupid. And then TypeScript, I think I'll put it at the top of. No, I'll put it at the end of great. So it's hard to place TypeScript because it's basically JavaScript with types, and I think the only thing that makes it slightly valuable is the fact that with a tsconfig file, you can make TypeScript and force a lot of rules on yourself, so you end up writing better code in the first place, even if you don't use the types. So it makes JavaScript a lot better, but it's still pretty much JavaScript, so it is basically JavaScript, just with some extra tools. So it goes at the bottom of great. And then HTML, not a programming language. Why are you in here? It's a markup language. Get out of here. Get. We'll just cross that out in editing. We'll forget about that. But yeah, this is my list. Hopefully I didn't make anybody too mad. I think that this is about how I feel. I feel comfortable with this list. So yeah, see you in another video sometime soon, hopefully. Even though I might have said that same thing last time. So, yeah.